My name is Mayor Havatsalet, changed from Mayor Brandwine when I became a terrorist, what they call, in the 1946. My story at the underground starts when the British were about to leave Israel, which they called then Palestine, and there was to leave the Jews and the Arabs alone to themselves. So the Jews had then three armies. The biggest army was the Haganah, trained by the British. There were 25,000. Then there was a smaller army, was the Irgun, 2,000 people about, and the smallest of them all was the Stern Gang.
Hello, my name is Michael Gecht, and I'm up here in the Berkshire Hills, Eisenberg camp, and I met someone. His name is Mayor. He's going to be a good friend of mine. He's 89 years old. I'm looking at my watch because I see it's July 19th, 2015. And Mayor has an interesting story to tell us. He's been an Israeli terrorist, and he's also been in a plot to kill Ben Gurion many years ago, and he's going to tell us about this. Go ahead, Mayor.
Okay, it was 1940.
Well, first tell us your full name and where you were born and how old you are.
Okay, my full name is Mayor Havatsalet, formerly Mayor Brandwine, born in the ultra-Orthodox community of Mea Sharim in Jerusalem. And at 1944, I became a member in the Irgun. I was a young kid. All I did was putting up bills on the walls against the British. In 1947, I was involved in a plot to kill Ben Gurion. This plot was only known to very few people, to me, and surprising enough to the President of Israel today, his father. His name was Professor Joseph Yoel Rivlin. Now, Joseph Yoel Rivlin hated Ben Gurion. Why? Because Ben Gurion shot out in the border of Tel Aviv a ship of arms brought by Menachem Begin to Israel to come to Jerusalem and fight the British from Jerusalem. Why Jerusalem? Ben Gurion made a deal with Menachem Begin that he will be the Prime Minister of Tel Aviv. Ben Gurion, Begin can go to Jerusalem, which was not planned to be a part of the Jewish state. But Ben Gurion had a trick Menachem Begin. After the agreement with Menachem Begin, what he did was that he put up a cannon on the seashore of Tel Aviv, and he said to Begin, you bring your ship to Tel Aviv, but you go to Jerusalem, we'll pay for you lorries, trucks, and you'll empty out the weapons to Jerusalem. But Ben Gurion did not do what he promised. He instead prepared a cannon on the coast of Tel Aviv, waiting for the ship. The ship was called Atalena, and on the ship were 900 fighters and tanks and the best weapons coming from Russia and Czechoslovakia. And the agreement with Ben Gurion was that we will unpack all these weapons and take it to Jerusalem, and Ben Gurion will be in Tel Aviv.
Okay, now why, let me just interrupt, why Czechoslovakia and Russia? You said that's where the arms came from.
Good question. Now, the Russians were then involved directly with the whole politics of the Middle East. At that time, they sent weapons to Menachem Begin from Russia and Czechoslovakia, because at that time America did not have a stronghold in the Middle East. And the Russians had an idea they should be those who will control the Middle East. So they said they're going to play on the card of the Jews and move Menachem Begin. They thought he'd become the Prime Minister of Israel and a satellite of Russia.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, What happened now is this. Ben Gurion wanted to trap Menachem Begin. How? He supposedly had a deal with Menachem Begin, as I said before, that, you know, Menachem Begin, you take your weapons to Jerusalem. After all, Jerusalem was not decided at all what's going to happen to it. He would go to Tel Aviv, which was then negotiated by the United Nations to give it a state of Israel, which should be established. But Ben Gurion did a dirty trick. Ben Gurion prepared a cannon on the coast of Tel Aviv, and ironically, who was in charge of that cannon? Rabin, who later on was killed at the same spot by a young kid, a Schmendrick, named was the guy Lamia, who did not like Ben Gurion, because to him he was a traitor. Anyway, let's go back to
that. That was a coincidence, right? Yes,
but anyway, it was a murder, assassination. Now let me go back to my story about the plot of Philippe Ben Gurion. When the Alta Lena was
the ship.
Was attacked by Rabin. Are you clear about it?
Yes, good.
Okay. Rabin was always remembered that he is the one who used the cannon, the ship Alta Lena. That the ship Alta Lena was shot at by Rabin, and they got and Ben Gurion said, give Begin an ultimatum: get out of the ship, raise your hands, and even after he raised his hands, Menachem Begin walking towards the coast, Ben Gurion said, drown the ship and try to kill Begin. That's what they say. And Begin and luck, they tried to shoot him, but they didn't aim right. So anyway, my professor, Rivlin,
what's his name?
Joseph Joel Rivlin. He was the father of the president of the day. His name is Reuven Rivlin. And I remember that after the terrible thing happened at Ben Gurion, you know, with the action of Rabin attacked the ship, and the ship drowned, I was called by my teacher, Professor Rivlin, who was the father of the president today. He wants to talk to me. He called me and his nephew. I don't know if he's still alive anymore. He said, I want to talk to both of you. But right after the ship was attacked, we went into his house in the living room, and he started to cry. The guy, the father of the president of the day, whose name was Rivlin, he said, look what Ben Gurion did to us. He destroyed the ship, he tried to kill Menachem Begin, now he must do something. I was wondering, what the hell does he want from me? I was not then in no situation.
What were you doing in those days?
I was a member of the Irgun, but I didn't have any power. I was a young kid. And in those days, to be a kid, it's very easy to kill people. Like the guy who killed Rabin. So the father of the president today, Professor Yosef Rivlin, who was, by the way, an excellent Arabist, translated the Quran into good Hebrew, he told me and his nephew, again Rivlin, he wants to talk to the two of us. So we came to him, and we were sitting in the living room. We started to cry. It's old man. He said, look what Ben Gurion did to us. He destroyed the ship in Alta Lena, and he drowned it. He tried to kill Menachem Begin.
Were the soldiers killed also?
No.
No, okay.
Luckily, yeah, of course. I'm sorry, 19 soldiers were killed. They were not soldiers, they were brought with Begin on the ship from Europe to fight. They were good fighters. So 19 of them were killed, and also, luckily, Begin, they tried to kill him. He was ordered by Rabin, with the cannon, to come out to raise his hands. He came out to raise his hands, they tried to shoot at him. Luckily, he didn't hit him. They missed the target. So since then, there was a certain hate and crime against Ben Gurion, who wasn't honest to say. He made a trick to kill, Begin.
Okay.
So Begin came out alive, but now there is hatred to kill Rabin.
Okay, so let's get back to the story. When you were called into the living room, okay, and he was crying, and you were there with his nephew,
Right.
and the two of you, and what did he say to you?
He said, I want to show you something. He started, no, first he said, talk to us. Look what Ben Gurion did. He betrayed us, he's a traitor, he tried to kill Menachem Begin. He said, and you know what you have to do? He didn't say what. He was careful. He said, I want to show you something. He pulled out the drawer, from a drawer. He said, come and show you. And there was a revolver there.
One
He said,
revolver.
One revolver, a small revolver. He said,
Okay.
the rest, you know what you have to do. Good luck. And I got very upset. What the hell is he talking about?
Oh.
Nobody.
You knew what he was talking about.
But there was nobody to give an order. He played a trick here, you know, and then he cannot blame him, cannot blame anybody. So I had second thoughts. Said something here is not kosher. He wants to kill Ben Gurion, let him do it. Or somebody, but not me, but he had his nephew was my friend. So he said, you and my nephew can do the job. I had terrible, struggle in myself, my mind, what to do. Should I go and try to do it? Should I not do it? In those days, to assassinate was very easy. It never had all these American ways of security, you can today a lot more do to protect a person from being murdered than today. Then you come to smoke revolver and you shoot. Nobody will stop you. That's how they killed Rabin. One kid came over close to him. He was a kid, 17 years old, and he shot him. So in those days it was very easy to assassinate. Also in America, remember how many times there were, an effort to kill somebody with the president or somebody else who can come over close and shoot. So anyway, this was the plot to kill, Rabin. Now,
did you take the revolver out? Did you pick it up?
I did not, because I was thinking something is not kosher.
Okay.
I said, why? Nobody else. He says to me, do what you think, what you know you have to do. I didn't like it. So he wanted really us to do the dirty job on our own. He thought probably too deep. I was young then. I was 16, 17 years old. So, like the same plot which was to kill Rabin. Later on, this guy who killed Rabin, his name was Yigael Amir, he was 16 years old. And then they arrested him, what do they do with him? And of course, he's still now in jail. So luckily, we did not do it. In our hands, we had the idea to kill. I didn't touch the gun. I told him I don't want to do it.
What about the nephew? What did he say?
Nephew, the same thing. We could be very close friends. Said, not right. After all, he said, my uncle Sunday me, let him go. I cannot give all these people going through it. So we changed our mind, we deal together. But nobody knows about it. We really had a revolver, the backing of a professor, who was the father of the president of today. It's unbelievable. And he was plotting to kill, Rabin. Today, of course, things changed. Today, in those days, the left wasn't in power. Who was the left? Those of Ben Gurion. Ben Gurion was a socialist, and Rabin was a socialist. The Histadrut, the Union of the Workers. Today, you have is the right wingers. They have the control, and those who were yesterday in the opposition today have the power. So, in other words, the father of the guy who wanted us to kill Ben Gurion is now the president. Look at things changed.
Wow.
Are you follow me?
Yes.
So it's incredible. And today, not only that they'll be in the government forever, the left, Ben Gurion's leadership was half which the right has now. That would be the fault. Netanyahu would never go out. He was elected 4 times. So look at things change. They never dreamt of having so many years in the government.
I'm not that familiar with the Israeli government, but I know Bibi Netanyahu is now what, the prime minister?
He's the prime minister.
Now the president, I was told, does not have that much power.
Nothing. He has a big Kiddush every Shabbos. People come to him. I worked there too.
Okay.
He has a gorgeous house, a huge, beautiful, living room, a guest room.
Right.
And you see what they do? They give the president everything, just keep him outside.
Right,
So now, which is then the
So
guy.
the president has like no power whatsoever.
No problem.
Okay.
But he has to behave.
Okay.
If he doesn't behave, just vote him out and you'll be finished. Nobody is for life in Israel. You always have to be again reappointed again. He was appointed 4 times already because Netanyahu says the guy behaves, you let him be there.
And one more time, his father, right?
Whose father?
The president's father now. Well, who's the president now?
His name is Ruby Rivlin. Ruby is Reuben. What is Ruby?
Ruby?
Yeah, I guess it's Reuben.
Ruben?
Rivlin.
Ruben? Okay.
Ruby Rivlin.
Okay.
Ruby Rivlin is the son of the guy who wanted us to
Right. In other words, his father was the one that opened up the drawer and showed you the revolver.
Oh, right. And his father said, do what you have to do.
Wow.
Like, no telling us, and I said right away, I don't like it. You know, really those who are going to say, who the hell told you? Nobody. So that was the story. It's not published anywhere. And
Right.
luckily, you know, I could kill Ben Gurion then. Easy. I mean, Rabin then. So wait a minute.
Now you don't know who you killed.
Now I'm confused completely. I'm old.
Ben Gurion.
That was Ben Gurion, right?
Right.
That was Ben Gurion.
You were
He died later. Wait a minute.
You sure it was Ben Gurion now?
No, I'm not sure at all.
You mean we just did a whole interview here, and you're not sure who was the one that shot the cannon?
Ben Gurion.
Okay.
What's Ben Gurion, right? No, Rabin.
Rabin was the one that shot the
Right,
cannon.
right.
Okay, so you were an assassination plot to kill Rabin. No.
Wait a second. Just 1 second. No.
No, we're
It
going
was,
to change this.
no, it was Ben Gurion. I tell you why. Ben Gurion appointed Rabin to be in control of the cannon
Okay.
to shoot the ship. So Rabin was really the one who pulled the trigger.
Right.
In charge of it was Ben Gurion.
Okay.
I tell you, I remember that. But
I'm glad you remembered it, because here we are saying, one thing and then you're changing it.
I'm okay. Let me
Okay.
explain to you.
Yes.
You see that Ben Gurion was in charge of putting down the ship. In the ship was Menachem Begin.
Okay.
Now, Professor Rivlin was not the army, but he's the one who wanted us to go and kill Ben Gurion. Ben Gurion is still alive.
Right.
Are you following me?
Yes.
Okay, so now the situation is like this. Ben Gurion is alive, he sent Rabin to put down the ship, the Alta Lena,
Yes.
and now, as a revenge against Ben Gurion for doing that, comes in Rivlin, and he wants us to go and kill Ben Gurion. Now later on, his son became the president, who is to this day the president for years already.
Okay.
You
Good.
get it? You
Yes.
clear?
Now I get it. Now, you also told me earlier today that there were 3 types of parties or gangs? What gang were you?
There were
Okay.
3 militias.
All right, let's hear about that.
Okay, let me explain.
Okay. And what year it was?
Oh, great. 1948 was established the state of Israel. Now, before that, from 1944 to 5,
1944 to 48.
5, no,
About 3 or
after
4
Auschwitz,
years.
after the Jews came out of the
Right.
6 million died, there were in Israel, there was no government, but there were in Israel 3 militia. Preparing
And this
themselves,
was still Palestine,
right?
and it was under British rule.
Right, and and then they knew the British said they're going to get out. They don't want to be there.
They're leaving.
Let me tell you a joke which was those days. Remember that there was here a coin from the mandate?
No. Okay.
Coin of the mandate as an Aleph and a Yud. What does it mean, Aleph and Yud? Eretz Israel.
Yes.
And the joke was, the Arabs call it Eretz Ishmael, and the British call it Enene Yodea, Aleph Yud. So it was really, we couldn't decide really who was in control of the country.
Right.
There were the Jews, but the Arabs and the British. The British planning to get out of it, the hell of the Jews and the Arabs, they are crazy, going to kill each other. He tried to settle it, it doesn't work, he wants out.
Okay.
So now what you have a confrontation between the Jews and the Arabs. And the Jews had then an army of 25,000 fighters, that's about it. The Arabs were millions. Now the question was now, the British are going to go out. How are they going to protect the Jews from the Arabs surrounding them? You follow me?
Yes.
You understand it?
Yes.
So how are you going to save the Jews? So the Jews said they cannot trust anybody. And they trained themselves. And there were then 3 militias
Okay.
of Jews. There was the big militia of the Haganah.
The Haganah, that was the big one. That was the number.
Under Ben Gurion.
Okay. Under Ben Gurion.
Yeah. And there was a smaller one, Menachem Begin, which is called the Irgun.
Irgun. Yes.
About 2,000 fighters. And the tiny one was the Stern Gang. Maybe about 100.
That was you.
I was in the Irgun. But the rest of my family were in the Stern Gang. Now let me explain to you what's between the 3 of them. Want to hear?
Yes.
Okay. The Haganah said, we have to wait fighting the British to get out of Israel. We have to wait because the British are fighting the Nazis. We cannot shoot them in the back. So Ben Gurion said then, every Jew who will be in a plot or will carry arms not under my permission will be arrested. Any boy from the Irgun or the Stern Gang, he said, I'll arrest him. Because they have to have one group controlled by me and trained well and wait till the British will leave the country. The British said they're going to leave the country when it's going to be ready for it. The Irgun said, Menachem Begin's group said, we have to fight the British. But how do you fight the British when they're fighting the Germans? You cannot do that. So Begin made a stupid, funny compromise. Said, you know what? We'll fight the British in a way like there are no Germans, and you fight the Germans like no British. How do you do it? You go and you blow up the officers of the British, but you don't touch the British soldiers. Because they go and fight the Germans. It sounded ridiculous, but you don't touch any soldier because they are our friends, but blow up officers. It's crazy. So this was what the Irgun said. The Stern Gang said, no good, you have to kill. If you don't kill, people don't take yourself. So the Stern Gang said, any soldier, not a Jew has to be killed. He has no right to be here. It's in our country. Are you follow me?
Yes.
So I repeat again. There was the famous, the big Haganah of Ben Gurion, huge army, well trained, who later on defend the country against the Arabs. There is the Irgun with 2,000 soldiers, who were not, maybe 2,000, and they were fighting the British, not just the British. They were not friends of the British. Then there was a Stern Gang who said, it's not good enough, kill them. You follow me?
Yes.
Shall I repeat again?
No, I got it.
Okay. So now we have 3 armies, and each one of them has his own trick, his own way. It was chaos. It was chaos. In those days I had in my hand to kill Ben Gurion. Later on I said, what the hell, you schmuck? What's wrong with you? You understand? He's the one who put things in order. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. So I changed my mind on my own. Not to kill Ben Gurion, just to stop it. And we have now 3 militias. We have Ben Gurion's Haganah, but don't forget the Haganah was 25,000 people with arms who knew how to shoot. The Irgun did not know how to aim straight. Die waren manche verschiedene Wochen, over Schlumiers, I was nobody to make a lot of noise. When the problem was that in Altalena, it was an order to come and take our guns and go to defend Altalena and Tel Aviv. They came there, they kicked our ass and chased us away. The Haganah was the main power.
It sounds to me like every Jew in Palestine was a member of the militia.
Every militia of 3.
Right.
Either Haganah,
But they had to be a member of one of them. Right, okay.
except the Yeshiva Bochum, those who are with pious.
Yes.
Like today, they never go to the army, they get away with murder. But you know what they say? Leave them alone. They're in the way, they make trouble, they yell Shabbos, we don't need it, so we left them alone.
Okay.
But otherwise, we had 3 million here.
Okay.
You get it?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, where do you want to go now?
I don't know, you tell me.
Okay, so you go to sleep.
She wants to go to sleep. No.
It's up to you.
Okay.
I can go on a whole night, you have to tell me. So, now comes the big time for Ben Gurion. The Arabs are going to invade the country. The British are pulling out. They say the hell with the Jews and the Arabs. We had enough. In those days, I hated the British. And when I realized they saved us. They trained the Haganah in the police, in everywhere. And the Haganah really was the British, the police of the administration. So every Jewish policeman in the offices of the British was a member of the Haganah. And he was following Ben Gurion. Begin at the smaller, but Begin never understood really what Ben Gurion understood. He was nobody. Ben Gurion was a genius. He was our church. He was the greatest man we had in 1,000 years. I didn't see it then. And if not Ben Gurion, there would be no Jewish state. And Ben Gurion said, you must be united. And Ben Gurion did a tremendous job. For example, when he established the state, he gave out an order. Said everybody, a member in any militia, in the Haganah, or in the Sterngek, or in the Yilgun, I give you 3 months to surrender your weapons, otherwise you'll be arrested. And you put your weapons, your guns in a certain corner in the street, drop it there, and we will watch you. And Ben Gurion arranged with his genius the best army in the world. By taking all these 3, hit the head against the head, and made them the best fighters. And I didn't see that. Then I was a child.
So wait a second, he told every Jew, every citizen?
Must use a gun, except those who are the ultra-Orthodox. And he said, leave them alone. Then you take them in, you're more trouble. And the Gurion was really a genius, he understood.
So he took the guns away from everyone?
Yeah.
So why was that so brilliant?
Because otherwise they would kill each other.
Okay.
And then he said, now...
Still kill each other, but okay.
So they trained, then he said, you start training from the beginning. One was good for a month, another one was not so good, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Everybody becomes trained. And the amazing thing was, we became the best army in the world. I don't know myself how it happened. Ben Gurion did it. He said, I put them together, and he took all these militias and made it into one army. I don't understand, it was a miracle. And that army protected the small Jewish community from about 200 million Arabs. However, that's not exaggerated. The Arabs were no fighters. They were no good. They were good to run away, take off their shoes and run. We made it much bigger than it was, how great we were now. Luckily, we had the Palestinians there, who never in their life were fighting. If we had, let's say, any other group like the Russians, like the Americans, they would kill us. But against the Palestinians, they were heroes.
Right.
But it was really blown up. To these days, they say, wow, what we did, what the Jews, as they fought, 1 Jew, 1,000 Arabs. The Arabs were no fighters. Not only that, I'm sorry to say that because when I diminish the glory of the Haganah. The truth matter is, we were lucky not because the Haganah was so great, but because the Arabs know how to fight. I'll explain it to you. You know, those Arabs who were inside the country, on the West Bank, they never learned how to use arms, never. The British didn't train them. Like they trained the Jews. They were very, very poor, and the Jews were always together, always trained, and they did a good job, but don't make the Jews the best army in the world. It's ridiculous. The luck was that we had our enemy was the Palestinians. This was the big secret we had. To this day, we glorify conquered the whole Jerusalem, we conquered the whole West Bank. Bullshit. The truth of the matter was there were no fighters there. Maybe I'm exaggerating with that too, because after all, and this group of the Jews,
you joined the army also?
Sure, otherwise you go to jail.
Okay.
They give you 3 months, he said, Ben Gurion, and Ben Gurion, that genius, knew to get them all together and unite them. All of a sudden he became a god, and we saw in him, and he started to fight the Palestinians. Now, meantime, the Arabs coming in from Iraq, they coming in from Syria, they invade the country, and Ben Gurion stands there fast and he puts us together. So, who was the greatest Jew? The last 1,000 years, I think, was Ben Gurion. The guy I wanted to kill. Imagine that.
Wow.
I hated him. Today I matured and I understand, if not Ben Gurion, there would be no Jewish state. Begin was a showman. Hysterically, he was a wonderful man. At my wedding, he came with his wife. He was a real gentleman. But it was no Ben Gurion. And he against Ben Gurion was a joke. Ben Gurion was not only that. Ben Gurion sent so many people to die. He said, I sent them to die. Everybody was the casualty in the Haganah was sent by Ben Gurion. But he was a strong man. Begin was very unfortunate. I don't know if you know that after Begin became recognized, he got a nervous breakdown and he separated completely from politics. It was so tragic, but Ben Gurion was so strong. And Ben Gurion, what did he do when the country was established and the Arabs were left, pushed out? He said, I did my job. I'm going to become what I wanted to be all my time, a kibbutznik, a farmer. He went to a small little farm in the Negev, and there he was till he died. So to this day, and also, Ben Gurion never learned in his life. He was like all the rest of them, a kibbutznik. I want you to know, in the kibbutz, nobody went to school. If you know any names of those who went to the kibbutz, the leaders, Yigal Alon, Yigal Yadin, Yadin was the exception. So they never went to school. And they were not intellectuals. But now, Ben Gurion says, I'm going to learn philosophy. He's an old man. He goes to the kibbutz, the Negev, and people come to see him. And he stands on his head every day for 2 hours. He said it's good to see the world straight. And he learned yoga, he learned philosophy. He was an amazing man. A little guy, I never forget it, did I tell you that I was in the army? And we were then not in Mount Scopus, we were in the city. And Ben Gurion saw me running and said, stop! And look, Ben Gurion, he had a huge front hair, but nothing under it. Cold, and he said to me, Chayal! I said, יש לך בחורה, you have a girlfriend? I said, no. He said to me, לא טוב. Then he ran and I ran different directions. I never forget it. He was a man, he was such a great man. And he had you had your Roosevelt.
Have my what?
Roosevelt was your great man.
Roosevelt. Roosevelt. Well, that was before my time, but yes.
And we had Ben Gurion. And they go no comparison. If not Ben Gurion, there would be no Jewish state. Incredibly strong. His nerves are so powerful. Imagine to send thousands to die without a government. It's a horrible thing. And Begin, who sent also some people to die, later on got a nervous breakdown and he was isolated and he died by himself in depression. He was a sad man. And he came to my wedding with his wife. Not to my wedding, in a wedding you have 7 days of celebration.
Right.
You know that. You had the same thing. So we were me and my wife, should rest in peace, we were in a small hotel.
This is in Israel?
In Israel, right, after everything is established.
Right, okay.
So So we're getting married in 1960. So it was much later.
Yes.
And all of a sudden there's a session in the same hotel by Menachem Begin. He was then in the government and all these big shots. And at that time, I had a chutzpah. So my Begin says to me, Ken Adoni, everybody was to him Adoni. Yes, sir. He was such a man of a gentleman. I told him, we have here now a small party for, Sheva Brachos. Celebrate the 7 days. Would you join us? He said to me, of course. He came in with the whole cabinet to our room and introduced to me my wife. He was such a wonderful man. So Israel, a great man. You see, I'm going to explain it to you. I'm doing it very quick, but I hope you follow me. The tragedy of the Arabs was they never created one leader. Why? There are 500 million people. Little Israel, everybody, the joke, everybody's a prime minister there. Everybody's a leader. It's interesting to say when the Golda Meir came to Johnson, it was in the papers, and she complained how hard it is, the prime minister. He said to Johnson, look, we have only 500 million people. 500 million, but look what I have here. 200 million. He said to him, Golda Meir, you don't understand. By us, every Jew is a prime minister. By you, there's only one. So it's amazing how Israel we are very special people. But of course, we are corrupt now. Now we are decaying.
We are corrupt. Israel is corrupt. Yeah.
So much stealing, so much taking, but it's a different story.
Well, that's going to be a different story. Anyway, May, I want to thank you for this interview, and one day it's going to be on the internet. Who knows where, but it'll be on there, and you'll get to see it. I'm sure many other people will also.
Oh, God
thank
bless
you so much.
I love you and
Okay.
your wife too, if you don't care,
Okay.
don't mind.
Thank you.
You may regret it, but it's no problem.
Okay.